I can't stand white lies, and I abhor black lies. Yet, I lie to my engineering students every day. I tell them that the sum of the forces equals 0. I tell them that the sum of the forces acting on a high-rise building equals 0, and that is why that high-rise building doesn't move. Buildings don't move? Lies. Buildings move all the time. They move due to all kinds of different forces. And I believe that if we knew what they're doing, you would never see high-rise buildings the same way again. In fact, I think buildings move to the tune of Jennifer Lopez songs. J-Lo, you don't believe me? Who believes me? They do. I'm going to explain to you 3 modes of motion of high-rise buildings. Motion due to wind forces. Motion due to temperature variations, heat and cold. We're really good on that one in Edmonton. What was it, -40, +40 that Patrick was talking about? And motion due to ground movement, otherwise known as earthquakes. We don't have a lot of earthquakes in Edmonton, so we don't have to worry about it. We switch with Los Angeles. They get temperature that's nice and warm. We get no earthquakes. So the first mode of motion is motion due to wind. Wind is a force. If you love sailboating, you know this. Wind is trying to turn the building from a straight thing into a flat thing. And we engineers have to design them in a way that can absorb the wind without breaking or cracking with the people inside of it. So we make them out of steel. Steel is very strong, but very flexible. So the wind, the steel actually sways in the wind, which is part of the design. And that swaying is to the tune of Jennifer Lopez's Waiting for Tonight. Waiting for tonight. Oh. Yeah. That is the first mode of motion, motion due to wind. The second mode of motion is high-rise building motion due to temperature variations. I just finished telling you that steel is the main component of high-rise buildings. Steel has a weakness, and that is heat. Steel was born from fire. We melt the iron ore, we combine it with other metals, and we create this amazing alloy called steel. But steel remembers. So on a hot day, like in Miami, the steel that is on the facade of the building, the molecules begin vibrating, and they want to get farther apart from each other so the metal actually expands. On a cold day, the molecules slow down and they want to get closer together, so they want metal get smaller. So the building is actually breathing. Hot day, cold day. Hot day, cold day. To the tune of Jennifer Lopez's If You Had My Love. And if you had my love and I gave you all my trust. The third mode of motion is motion due to ground movement, so-called earthquakes. They can be caused by cars driving by the building, by actual earthquakes, or by people on a rave. The building is designed so they can absorb the shaking motion of an earthquake without cracking or bending. The thing is that some buildings are put on rollers. So during the earthquake, the building is actually rolling from side to side without breaking. And that vibration is done to the tune of Jennifer Lopez's Love Don't Cost a Thing. You think you're gonna keep me? As you don't. Think you're gonna spend your cash? I won't. You're gonna see that, I know it. In summary, high-rise buildings are exposed to many kinds of forces. The 3 that I told you about, motion due to wind, trying to bring the building down, motion due to temperature variations, trying to expand and contract the metal, and motion due to earthquakes. In summary, there's so many forces acting on buildings. These are just the top 3. Why do I tell my students that the sum of the forces equals 0? Because it's a complete lie. You know they move. It's because they're in first year of engineering, first day of classes. I'm about to teach them the hundreds of forces that act on things. I need to make the other side of the equation 0. Just worry about the one side of the equation. At the end of the first term, I actually tell them the truth. And this is the range of reactions. Number 1, I don't care. Number 2, despair. What do you mean? Those are going to be the civil engineers. Our things are not supposed to move. And then we get anger. I knew it. Those are the mechanical engineers. Things move. In summary, I'm so glad I could give you this little lesson on how buildings actually move. We can't see it, but it's there. It's there. And when you leave the Royal Alberta Museum today, and you drive by the Ice District, and you see the Stantec building, beautiful building, by the way. When you see the Stantec building, you're going to see this. My name is Claudia Villeneuve. Thank you for coming to class today.